Hello, you are listening to Elevate and Lead live on the Lou Information Station, live on demand. This is Jennifer Bardot, and I'm not with Kelly and Mike today, but I do have an amazing guest that I'm going to introduce. This is Cassie Rain. She's a CFO. She's an incredible leader in our community, and she works for the Bruning Law Firm. And she's also a two-time Grit author and member. So I just want to do a quick recap of last week's interview. We had Brandon Anderson with AGC, or Association of General Contractors. He specializes in mental health and suicide awareness within the construction industry. And I thought he brought a lot of words of wisdom that I really took away, and just seeing the impact that he's making, not only here in like St. Louis, but internationally. Like, he's done some really cool things. So anyway, thank you, Brandon, for joining us. And it was great to have you and to really highlight all the good work that you're doing in the community. And the girl beside me comes from blue collar too. So I know I could relate with that, with my dad being here over 92 years, but she's going to share some words of wisdom about her blue collar roots as well. So before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. So today's conversation is brought to you by the Morgan Pinnacle Group. CEO doesn't mean Chief Everything Officer. Morgan Pinnacle Group provides U.S.-based executive support and leaders so they can focus on the growth instead of getting buried in the task. So to learn more, you can visit mpgstaff.com. And now we are going to go straight into our Ask and Elevate. And I hope, Cassie, you have to chime in. So this question is brought to us from Sherry. She's in Kirkwood. So it says, at this point, do you realize you've outgrown something you've once prayed for? And how do you make the leap without feeling like you're abandoning what you've built? So do you have any words of wisdom with that?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I can definitely resonate with this, especially right now in my life. I just made a huge pivot and did leave something that I built. I think for me, really just digging deep on what this point in my life, what I really want, and letting go of pride and really looking at where your intentions are, aligning what's important. It's really hard, but I know this sounds silly, but it's just like go with your gut.
Yep.
And at this point in my life, I knew I wanted something simple. It was hard to leave what I built, but I feel like every time I was afraid, it was an even more reason to do it. I was afraid to hire my first employee, and I was afraid to get the new office, and I was afraid to sell my business, which I did recently. And every time that fear was there, I knew in my gut, if it was the right decision, if I followed that, it would always work out. So.
Absolutely. I feel like fear kind of blocks us from living out our purpose,
For sure.
And so we can never allow the fear to proceed what we're supposed to be doing in this world.
Yeah. If you just push through it and go with your gut, like I said,
totally,
it works out every time.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And it's scary. I remember when I published my first book, I couldn't do it alone, but it was something out of my comfort zone that I wanted to do. And then reflecting on how Grit was started, leaving a corporate salary, 6 figures. And it's okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. What's this going to look like? Yeah. But I'm if I would have stayed, I would have felt like I've already outgrown my potential within that organization. So I knew I needed more. I needed another opportunity, but I didn't want to be held back because of fear.
Yeah. We were just talking about that completely.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. And success is different for everyone.
Yes.
Some people, money is all about being building something like you're doing right now, and something that I did, and letting go of that was really hard. But just looking at what I wanted right now in my life, I'm in my 40s, best time.
Yeah.
And so just what I want now is very different than what I wanted 10 years ago. And that's okay.
Absolutely. And that's essentially why I wanted to be an entrepreneur, because I wanted to be a full-time mom.
Yeah.
I could build out my schedule based on their, activities. So I could do drop-off, pickups, all of the activities. But if I stayed in corporate, they were having me fly around doing different speaking engagements, and it's pulling me away from my family. So my priorities shifted. So
yeah. I think too, just be kind to yourself.
Totally.
And listen, you know what you need for yourself. Just listen to yourself and be kind to yourself.
Yeah. And you're going to always have those little birds
Yes.
and people chirping in your ears. And you got to just realize, like you said, listen to your gut. What is it that fills your cup? How do you feel like you're going to grow moving forward? Don't stay stagnant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A perfect example of that is my husband. I know we've talked about this before. He left his career for a couple years to support me. And, he's the man. He's supposed to be supporting the family. And I think there was probably a lot of judgment from others that I'm working, I'm out working, I'm working late, he's home with the kids. But he was supporting me. And that at that point in time, he knew that was right for him and our family.
Right. And you guys were a team.
We were a team. Yeah. So just be kind to yourself and you know what you want, and just go for it.
And I love that perspective of having someone that's beside you as you're growing. That support is so critical.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We were just talking
well, good
about.
job, Chad.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. So, Sherry, I hope if you're listening, you've gotten some takeaways from this and you decide to step out of your comfort zone and take that leap and trust your gut and just do what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm officially going to introduce our guest. So today, who is joining me is Cassie Range. Like I said, she's a CFO over at Bruning Law Firm, one of the fastest growing law firms here in Missouri. And I first met Cassie actually through networking at Enterprise Bank and Trust, but I'm glad to call her a friend and just an incredible leader in the community. She was just highlighted in St. Louis Small Business Monthly as one of the top 100 people to know. We had her featured in our Women Leaders column this past July. So I'm really excited to have you here as my guest. And if you want to give everybody a quick overview about who you are.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Cassie Range, and I am the CFAO, Chief Finance and Administration Officer over at Bruning Law Firm. We are the fastest growing law firm in Missouri, so super proud of that. I owned a business management and accounting firm for over 10 years, supporting small businesses, mostly law firms. And I just sold that about a year ago to my partner, Terry, which was a huge pivot, as you know.
Yeah.
But really excited. I have 2 little boys at home and a wonderful husband. And yeah, happy to be here. Thank you. So
she's not driven at all. She doesn't do much. She just sits around eating bonbons.
Yeah, that's all I do.
It's incredible.
Coming
you've been able to.
you.
I know, but it's incredible. You've been able to build a business, sell a business, and I mean, just all of the titles and accolades that you've acquired so quickly in your life, in your career. Where does all that drive come from?
Oh, a lot of places. I would say in the beginning, probably my parents. My dad is a business owner. He owns a power washing and painting business. He was a truck driver for many years and listened to his gut. He knew he wanted to build something himself. So he took that leap and built a really successful business. He's such a hard worker. My mom also is such a hard worker. I'm the first in my family to graduate college. So they really had to work hard for everything they gave us. And supported me. They always tell me how proud they are of me, and they're wonderful parents. So I think I would have to start there, and then just my support system, my husband, wonderful friends like you and other women.
Yeah, actually Chad introduced us because we were networking, and then he's like, you got to meet my wife.
Yeah, he knew we would click.
Yeah, totally.
So I have my cousin, Katie. I've told you about her many times. She's like my sister. So supportive. So just the other women I've had in my life, my accounting team, that has been with me for years, Peyton and Stacy and Susan, they were, I couldn't do all of this without them. So people always say it takes a village as a parent, and it does, but it also does in business. So.
Absolutely. You can't do anything alone. No. And the fact that you have been able to lead a successful organization says a lot about your leadership skills. So tell us a little bit more about what it was like in that chapter as an entrepreneur when you're leading and having to have resiliency every day.
Yeah. Running my own firm, it was like the in the trenches education. It taught me that resilience, it's not just about surviving all of the hard days. Because there's a lot of hard days.
You eat what you kill, and there's a lot of hard days.
Yeah. The day-to-day grind, and being everything to everyone, not just my family, but at work and my clients. And I learned how to build something from the ground up. But I learned of what that burden is doing it solo. And so I know a lot of exactly what I'm talking about. It's a lot of fun and it's so much pride, but sometimes it is exhausting.
It's a grind.
Yes.
Day in, day out. You got to have that internal hustle.
Yeah. I understand kind of the technical side of finance. I'm not a CPA, but I am good with accounting. I'm a nerd. I'm good with a spreadsheet for sure. But I've always been really passionate about management. And so I think it just taught me the human side of management, managing my own team, clients, even like COVID, going through that with my clients. I've always been an empath, that. So sometimes it did take a big toll on me. It was chaos a lot of the time. So I think I just really learned like in the trenches what it means to be a business owner, which in turn helps me make other business owners successful from the human side of things.
Absolutely. Because you wear your heart on your sleeve and you want to make sure that if you're supporting these business owners, you want to see them succeeding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So describe like that pivot when you decided to change, to leave the business that you founded, move into a completely different organization, different role. It's similar, but
Yeah.
like describe what that change looked like and what was the intent behind it?
Yeah. For the longest time was being a business owner. I started my business in 2013 and it took off pretty quickly because I got a lot of referrals from all of my wonderful clients who referred me to other lawyers. They all kind of know each other here in St. Louis, so it worked out.
And if you're listening, she doesn't have a favorite. She likes y'all.
Yeah. Thank you all very much. So my identity was wrapped up in being a business owner. I was super proud of what I built, but I really did hit a wall. It was like I was an inch deep and a mile wide every day. I was juggling 100 different fires for dozens of clients and employees. And like I said, I was exhausted. So the change of intention for me was really just like radical honesty with myself in the moment. And I didn't want to just manage chaos anymore. I wanted to stop scattering my energy everywhere. I felt like I wasn't doing 100% of what I was capable of for anyone.
That had to be hard because you just said you're an empath. So you really internalized that.
Yeah. It was hard. I knew I was making an impact on small business. I knew that I was helping people, but I think for me, I just really had to dig deep and go, okay, where can I make the biggest impact? I wanted to put my fuel behind one single mission. So yeah, it was more of like shifting from independence and pride to impact.
Mm-hmm. Is there like one story that you'd like to highlight of like a business owner that you truly like helped change?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I know.
Oh, that's
I'm making you think. I mean, to be like in your role in COVID, that had been like, I mean, you're the most critical part of the whole company.
Yeah. I mean, I had some food and beverage clients. It was really hard. I think one that kind of sticks out for me is Steve Slough. He's an attorney here in St. Louis. He's always been solo. We built a really good relationship. Like, I think Steve would always want to bounce things off me. Another lawyer that I really appreciate is Andy Drazen. He's another personal injury attorney. We're the same age. And so I felt like, one, they really valued my services and my opinion and saw me for who I am. But also, I feel like I was always able to help them from a management standpoint, not just an accounting standpoint. So with Steve, he started out on his own. I had to help him with insurance and I had to help him with not just accounting. And so him and I still have a great relationship. Me and Andy still have a great relationship. So yeah, I think those two probably.
Absolutely. And I love that above and beyond approach. I think when you start supporting people outside of the work that you're, expected to deliver, that's when relationship happens and they see you as a trusted advisor.
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. So when you moved from being a business owner to now an executive leader, what was that major transition like for you? Now you're at Bruning Law Firm, one of the fastest growing, law firms in St. Louis and Missouri. So what was that leap and how did you know that it was the right place for you to grow in your career?
I think I used to think success was more measured by numbers, the numbers I managed or the fact that I had built something from scratch. My definition has matured of success for sure. I see that kind of the greatest accomplishment isn't just business success anymore for me. I wouldn't have said that definitely 10 years ago.
Well, no, when you're young and hustling, you got kids to feed.
Yeah. And I just had that ambition. I think seeing my dad do it. And I think a lot of it too was me trying to prove to people, to be honest, that I was valuable and I was smart and I can do this.
Yeah, you're a young female leader. I mean, you had to prove it to yourself.
It's hard.
And,
yeah. So having the courage to pivot when you're already at the top of your game is hard.
Yes.
And success is building a life where I can be a powerhouse in my career, but be a present focused mother. That was missing for me. And there was some guilt there, but not just like the mom guilt and don't do that to yourself. I had to listen to that and go, okay, like, is my cup full? Yes, I have this successful business. Yes, you proved to yourself you can do it. You graduated college, you did all these things, but I was still missing something. And I think it was all the things. It was being pulled in a million different directions, not focusing everything into one business where I can make an impact, but also like missing some things with my kids. And I just wanted life to calm down. So again, just listening to that, I feel like right now I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be professionally and personally. So
That has to feel good. I mean, you always say you can have it all. That's always my mindset. You can have it all. You can have the career, you can have the family, you can have all the things. And that balance is really critical because it plays into your energy.
Yeah.
So have you seen a shift in your energy and your whole spirit now that you've made that move?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a lot calmer for sure. And that looks different for everybody.
Right.
For me, I wanted to calm down. I wanted life to calm down. I wanted to go to the football games without thinking about 10 things I need to do. But I'm also getting pushed at Bruning.
Yeah.
I have learned so much over the last year. We're so smart and ambitious and so down to earth, like easy for me to be vulnerable with. I'm kind of an open book, and with them I can be that way. And I've known Ryan forever, so like that has made it really easy as well. So yeah,
that's amazing. It sounds like you have a really great culture and it's supportive, but it's allowing you to actually grow and flourish, but not in chaos.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we had you in the studio, you were talking about how you're mentoring all these, young up and coming people within your organization. Share what that's like. Because you used to be in that seat and now you're actually, helping lead them.
Yeah, I think that is probably what I'm most passionate about. Again, I love numbers. I love accounting. I know that I'm good at it. But at this point in my life, I feel like we've all had a bad boss.
Yeah.
Probably everyone. And I think for a reason, right?
Teaches you what not to do.
Yeah. I've worked my heart out for people and have felt undervalued, whether that's my own insecurity or the culture that I was in at the time. It can really take a toll on you. But those years, even though they were painful, they were my greatest teachers and they gave me a fire. So grateful for that. But also I want to build something in our team that feels the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And so it's refreshing to work with a lot of young women. In my firm, there wasn't a whole lot of young people working there. So it's different, but I love it. They make me feel younger.
That's awesome.
I can get some clothing advice,
you are young.
And makeup advice from them. But it feels good to be a mentor, have an open door there. I do finance, but I also am over HR and administration. So again, super passionate about it. I love it. I want to be a support system for them. I want to mentor them. I want to talk about their goals, what they want. How can we help you grow? I want them to be vulnerable with me and just really create a culture where they love to come to work.
That's beautiful. And I think culture is everything. And once people feel heard and seen, they're going to perform and they're going to want to show up to work.
Yep.
That's amazing. So if you could think back to the Cassie that was those people's age, these young little hustlers,
yes,
what would you tell that Cassie?
Trust your gut. I feel like that has been the
mantra for sure.
Mantra. Trust your gut. You will do great things, but it's going to take time.
Yeah.
And everyone's path is different.
Yeah.
I think that I had this vision of everything I was supposed to do. My dad wanted me to be a nurse. I went to nursing school and then I was like, this isn't for me. And it was so scary. And I was like really hard on myself because I didn't know what I wanted to do in my 20s. And I didn't graduate college till my late 30s. And I think if I heard that when I was younger, it would almost feel like a failure in a way. But going through it all, I'm so proud now where I'm at. I wish I could have felt that, but I think there's a reason for it. So just trust your gut, know that your path is different, but it's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I love that. You gave me tingles because it's give yourself grace.
Yes.
Everybody's path is completely different. But once you learn more about yourself, you're able to stay in alignment. Because can you imagine if you're a nurse right now?
No,
it wouldn't be a fit at all.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, you're an empath, obviously, and you'd be able to care for people, but it wouldn't have filled your cup like the role that you're doing now.
It wouldn't.
Or you'd probably be like the CFO of Mercy Hospital or something.
Oh, geez.
You probably would have. You would have went from nursing to CFO. I need you to do your books.
I do think I probably would have fallen that somehow. I feel like every job I had, they were like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do it? Can you help us with the accounting? Can you help us with this? Which I'm glad I always said yes because it led me to here. So don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah, and just being your friend and witnessing your growth just from 2021 till now, it's been incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
You
really
too.
cool to watch.
Same.
I love it.
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, she was in 2 of my grit anthologies. She's the OG. She was in the very original. When I approached her, I was like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think?
I was so excited.
Yeah, you're in Owning Your Grit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what that chapter was about.
The first one?
The first one.
Oh, the first one. Geez, I'm trying to remember exactly. I remember the second one.
Okay, well, let's talk about growth. It's okay. It'll hit.
The second one is when I was just starting to feel I was just getting ready to partner my accounting firm because I knew I needed help. Again, I was like being stretched so thin. I feel like I was really struggling when I wrote that chapter because I knew this wasn't it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had reached.
You had that self-awareness. It's like the light bulb went off. We got to pivot.
Yeah, and it was like, why do you feel this way? It's going so good. Your business is exploding, and I knew there was something missing. And it wasn't just about the kids and not being home. It was like, I know I can make an impact somewhere else. And so I was really struggling. I knew I wanted a change, and I hadn't been approached by the Brunings just yet. Of course, it happened right after that, which I was like, this is so it. This is my tribe. These are my people.
You got to look for the signs.
Yeah. And so I think I was struggling because I knew I needed to make a change. And I remember saying in that chapter, changing. And I didn't know what it was yet, but I knew there was something more for me out there.
I think you just always have to have that open-minded perspective. And then you can say yes and then say no later, but just that fits.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, did the Owning Your Grit chapter come to you?
That one was probably more when I was, yes. I remember. You love this story.
I do. I was waiting for her to say it.
Yeah, I was getting ready to graduate.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm so proud of you because it's such an alternative path and it's empowering. And that's why I wanted you to highlight that.
Yes. So I was going to college. I have been going to college for years and years. I went to nursing school, then I switched for a while to marketing. Then I went to business. I did psychology for a while. I had worked in golf course management before I got into law firm management. So it was kind of all over the place. And then when I started my business, I felt like my confidence was lacking because I didn't have an education. I mean, when you're talking to lawyers who are smart, educated people every day,
even though you're capable, you just needed that designation. Be like, yep, did it.
Yeah. And then I had kids, and then I was like, okay, one day they're gonna have to like fill out that application, and it say my mom doesn't have a degree, you know.
So that's what motivated you.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I can do this. And so I went back to school and I got my bachelor's. And then I wrote about it in grit. And yeah, I think some people might feel insecure about that, you know, getting your degree later in life, but it made me so proud. And people were like, you didn't even need it. You were already successful. And why are you wasting the money? And it's like, because I want that.
You did it for you.
Yeah. And it felt really good.
Well, I love that story. And that's why I was hoping you were going to highlight it. Because I think it's so empowering. And especially when we were able to celebrate you, because that's such a huge accomplishment. While you're raising a young family, you're leading a business. Yeah. All the things.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. It's awesome. So yay. Thank you for sharing that story. So you are listening to Elevate and Lead. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website.
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
LouInfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story began.
Is your brand stuck on the sidelines? Tired of feeling like your marketing budget is just warming the bench? Well, then it's time to get in the game with Eyesight Media. We don't just put your brand near the action, we put you in the action. Imagine this, your company front and center, showcased in NCAA and pro stadiums and arenas nationwide. If you're ready to elevate your brand to MVP status, don't miss this shot. Visit eyesightmediagroup.com today to apply for an in-arena partnership. That's eyesightmediagroup.com.
St. Louis sports fans, now you can go deeper with STL Sports Central Insiders. Get exclusive access to Bernie Miklasz, Randy Carricker, Mike Claiborne, Jamal Mayers, and more. Plus, your chance to watch a Blues game in the alumni box with Jamal himself. Also, monthly giveaways, Bernie's columns all week, and you'll be supporting local sports media. Join now at stlsportscentral.com.
LouInfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. GetBC.com.
Your LouInfo.com news. I'm Jared Sorello. Illinois State Police continue to investigate a chase in the Metro East that ended in a deadly crash. The pursuit began when a driver refused to pull over for a Southern Illinois University Edwardsville campus police officer. The chase continued Sunday night through the city until the driver reportedly lost control and crashed into the Redmond Insurance Agency building on South Main Street. Charges now filed against a St. Louis woman for a couple of alleged shooting incidents in 2024. Selena White is accused of firing gunshots into a mechanic's shop because she was angry about the work on her vehicle and then at a landlord who confronted her for yelling near their property. And the St. Louis area mourns the death of actor Robert Duvall. Before gaining international stardom for roles Apocalypse Now, Duvall graduated high school at the Principia and spent his college years at nearby Principia College. For the Lou Information Station, I'm Jared Sorello.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by Home Bank. Member FDIC. Secure your financial future by opening a high-yield checking account today. Go to myhomebank.bank to get started.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Big low pressure system off to our west, and that'll cause gusty wind for us up to 30 miles an hour today. We're in the mid-60s on the high with some clouds hanging around. Overnight, clearing up a little bit. We're in the upper 50s and breezy, and a little breezy on Wednesday, too. Sunshine and low 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at LouInfo.com and the free Lou Info app.
When you buy a hot tub, you want more than bubbles. You want value that lasts. At St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, their low overhead means premium American-made products priced better than the competition and the best price guarantee in town. They'll beat any local dealer on a comparable model. With over 38 years in business and 400-plus five-star reviews, you can trust they'll be there to service your spa long after the sale. St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, highest quality, best price. Visit besthоttubprices.com today.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
At Commercial Technology Solutions, we are all about solutions. We pledge that our sales staff will listen carefully to your needs and propose a solution customized to your business. Our services and tech support are second to none. When you establish your relationship with Commercial Technology Solutions, you can have confidence that your tech needs are in the hands of St. Louis's best. Contact them in Missouri at 314-421-3550, in Illinois 618-452-3550, and online at ctsphone.com.
When you buy a hot tub, you want more than bubbles. You want value that lasts. At St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, their low overhead means premium American-made products priced better than the competition and the best price guarantee in town. They'll beat any local dealer on a comparable model. With over 38 years in business and 400-plus five-star reviews, you can trust they'll be there to service your spa long after the sale. St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, highest quality, best price. Visit besthotTubPrices.com today.
spotlighting the people and ideas reshaping how we work, lead, and live. Back to more of Elevate and Lead with Jennifer Bardot, Kelly Chandler, and Michael Chandler on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Welcome back. This is Jennifer Bardot. You are listening to Elevate and Leave on the Lou Information Station. And I'm joined here today with Cassie Range. So I'm going to dive right back into those questions. And we didn't really get to talk too much about your current law firm. So Bruning Law Firm, obviously you mentioned, is the fastest growing law firm in Missouri, and it's the right place for you to work. But what do they do and what do they provide?
Bruning Law Firm is a personal injury law firm. So we take clients that have personal injury or work comp cases. So if you're injured, a car crash, obviously, any kind of crash, if you're injured in any way and it was somebody else's fault, we'll try to help you. And so also work comp cases we take currently.
Awesome. So go in a little bit more detail about work comp. I don't know if people are familiar with that. Obviously in the construction industry, it's a hot topic, but like, what does that mean?
Yeah. If you were hurt at work, you really should consult an attorney, no matter how it happened. Whether it was your fault or it wasn't your fault, they are liable or what happened. In Missouri or Illinois, we could help you out. Just do a consultation with an attorney. Also, personal injury, we also have been taking some nursing home abuse cases as well. But personal injury can happen in many different ways. Premises liability, so getting injured somewhere, they call it like slip and fall cases, but getting injured at a premises, car crash, truck crash, anything like that, we want to help. So,
awesome. And they'll talk to anybody. You have to put a retainer down or anything like that, or how does that work?
Nope. Yeah. You don't get paid, or we don't get paid until the case settles.
So definitely call, definitely reach out and figure out what's going on, see if they can help support you.
Yeah. We are growing. We have a lot of experienced attorneys at the firm. And so we can definitely help you. And we take customer service very seriously, which is something that's very hard to find.
Absolutely.
At personal injury firms.
So do you have a website they can visit, or how do they find you?
Yep. BruningLawFirm.com.
Easy peasy.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's
it.
easy enough. I mean, I know I've been seeing all the billboards popping up everywhere. So
Yes. Yeah,
that's
lots
great.
of billboards. You'll see us online. Lots of things like this. We're doing lots of branding right now. In the personal injury law space, that's what it's about. is
Absolutely.
marketing.
Visibility.
I do love Bruning. It's not them that's on the billboard. It's not their face, which
Right.
is typically what you see in
Yep.
personal injury law.
Yep.
They're more about the clients. And our Google reviews speak for themselves. I mean, if you go on Google, I'm so proud going on there and reading what our paralegals are doing and our attorneys are doing. They're so passionate. We have really good people there that care about their clients, build relationships with them. And our Google reviews speak for themselves. So
That's
if you
awesome.
want to be taken care of and have some empathy for your situation, these people are going through such a hard time. I can't imagine some of their stories are really hard. And so at Bruning, we really care about our clients, and that's really why we're growing.
That's incredible. And obviously
Yeah.
that speaks to the organization, because I saw that Bruning Law Firm was recognized as being the best place to work in St. Louis.
Yes, we are one of the businesses named for that. We are so proud of that. They really have built a culture, again, like I've talked about, that is aligned with my values. I've only been there a year. They were a client of mine for years. I helped them with accounting before I went on as a full-time employee. But yeah, the culture there, I mean, they do things like mental health days, and they give a hybrid schedule, and the benefits are amazing. And they do events for their staff, and we're always celebrating milestones and celebrating employees and birthdays. And again, there's like open door policy with the leadership team and the management team. There's a lot of collaborations. We have change champion groups that happen where we want to get feedback from everybody. We want the paralegals to tell us, how can we do this more efficiently? If they're doing the job, we need to value their feedback. And so that's really important as well. Not only helps us grow, and this firm is so innovative and efficient in the way they do things, which is good for our client, but also for the staff, and like getting their feedback and listening to them and their ideas. That's how we're going to be successful. So just creating an environment where they're heard, they feel like they're growing. We see you, we want to give you a good work-life balance. We know family is important. All of those things is what got us that award.
That's incredible. And obviously you've shared your personal stories working for the organization, and it's great that they're, doing that for all of their team members. Was in this organization, it's local, right? The
Bruning?
founders? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's that story?
Yeah. So Ryan and AJ are brothers. Their dad is a lawyer as well, Tony Bruning. Tony specialized in fire cases. So people that were injured in fires. And then AJ and Ryan Ryan was a person, he worked at a local firm here in St. Louis. That's where we met. I
Awesome.
think in like 2011. And then they decided to partner together with their dad. And I don't know if you know the St. Louis Rams case, but they are the ones that litigated that case and won for the
Wow.
people of St. Louis. Yay. So after that, they really invested in their firm. And AJ is the visionary. He is so innovative. And I've known Ryan for a really long time, but AJ, I didn't really know. I had only met him a couple times. And I remember meeting him at Starbucks before I took the position. And I feel like I left with like this fire, like that's what he does to you. And I like wanted to start tomorrow. He's just so smart and ambitious and taught me so much about technology in an hour. I was like, this is awesome. And then Ryan is the integrator, and he is smart and steady, and has taught me so much as well. He gives me an environment to be vulnerable. He knows me really well because we've known each other for a long time. He sees sometimes when I'm struggling with things and will call me out on it. So like I have grown so much professionally and personally working for them. Yeah, so they're great. They're great. They're down to earth. Our values are just so aligned, and they're like my tribe. I love it.
And I love highlighting local businesses. So I love that they're local, family owned, family run,
Yes.
and they've been in the weeds and decided to launch their own. So they've kind of seen both sides of that spectrum.
Yeah, both Mizzou boys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, very St. Louis.
So when you reflect on your proudest accomplishments, and it may not even be business, it may be personal, but what were some of those moments that have really like changed you as a leader?
Again, I think working in some environments that weren't the best probably changed me, gave me a fire that I didn't know I had in me, which was great. And being insecure about not graduating college, like those were, I think a lot of the insecurities are what pushed me in telling myself like, you can do this, you got this. And then becoming a mother. I wanted to make them so proud and be a good example for them. So I think probably, becoming a mother and just fighting through those insecurities and obviously graduating college. And yeah.
Those are huge accomplishments.
Yeah,
yes.
Thanks.
And it is difficult when you're trying to build that family and do all the things. So what are some of your biggest fails?
Biggest fails.
I mean, they're not fails, right? Lessons learned.
Yes. There's so many. Which one do I pick? There's been so many lessons.
Well, that's so good though. That's all the wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the scars that make us that much stronger.
Yeah. I think, I hate to say this because I think everything happens for a reason. So I feel like everything that did happen was for a reason, and like it's not necessarily a failure. But I didn't always listen to my gut. I think that comes with age too.
Yeah.
I always am like celebrating my 40s because I feel like now like I know exactly what I want.
You're just grounded, you're rooted, you know who you are. Yeah.
But when I was young, I didn't listen to myself when I should have. Like being in certain environments where I know it wasn't right for me, or just being complacent. I know we talked about that, like, well, you're making money, and what does success really look like? So just not listening to myself in certain environments where I knew it wasn't right was probably wasting time in places where I shouldn't have.
Yeah. So thinking back to our Ask and Elevate, this whole session is like right in Sherry's bucket. Like you got to have intention. You got to listen to your gut. You got to act with purpose, celebrate your wins, learn from your hardships.
Yeah. That's why grit just spoke to me.
I love it.
I mean, the acronym was just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And reading all the other women's stories was amazing because I felt like, okay, I have some people that understand what I'm going through.
I thought it was really all these incredible leaders that look like they've got it all figured out. And then you
Yes.
read what they've gone through and you're like,
Yes.
wow, we do have stuff in common, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about that at the firm because, I'm the CFAO and,
That's an intimidating title, especially, when you're talking to those young girls
Yeah.
and
I don't
trying to
feel
help mentor them.
intimidating,
I
but
know.
yeah, I'm sure it does sometimes come off that way. And so it's nice to be able to talk to them about my journey sometimes because they are surprised.
Yeah. And they can relate.
And so now I love that.
Yes.
I can say, you know what? I didn't do this until here. Or I guess what? I started out in nursing school, and they're all trying to figure out what they want to do. And
There's
I
always
remember
pressure.
that.
Yeah.
And-
Yes.
And some people know, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think
I was
the
never the no
majority-
girl.
I think the majority don't know.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Just go out and push through that fear and try everything you can. I never thought this is what I would be doing. If you
Right.
talked to me at 18. for
Wasn't
sure.
it? It's just so interesting. Once you're in alignment, those doors just,
Yeah.
And then the ones that aren't supposed to be there naturally close.
Yeah.
And they usually slam you in the face.
Yeah. I had so many opportunities from clients to work for them, that would reach out. What do you think about closing your business and working for us? And there was always like a glimmer of like, that sounds like something, because it comes back again to the impact. Like I can make such a bigger impact if I was giving all of my energy. And I, whenever if they call you on a day of chaos or the 1099 deadline,
like, I'll
you're
take it.
Oh yeah. But I just knew it wasn't the right fit. I always knew that until I met the Brunings, and just finding people that have the same values as you is so important when you're employed somewhere, because you're there every day. And I'm learning and growing, and I'm with the right people. Patrick, the director of operations, I've known him for a long time too. So smart. So it's like I feel like I'm still learning and growing almost more now than I was when I had my business.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So it feels really good.
Well, yeah, I wake up energized because you're learning something new every day and you're getting pushed out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And that I don't ever see that ending for you. I feel like you are just that driver that always seeks more and, wanting to flourish, but always thinking from the perspective of wanting to give back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good assessment. I do love learning. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what excites you most about this next phase of growth?
Well, I am so excited to be at Bruning because they are growing. So I feel like I am going to learn so much and to be a part of a firm that's making such a big impact in our community. They are constantly giving in St. Louis and supporting charities. And so just being a part of that, I'm really excited about that. I'm also really excited my boys are 9 and 12. And so I'm really excited to see over the next 10 years, who they are as little men, and being more present with them and slowing down and enjoying those moments, going to the football games, and just having nights where we're watching movies and relaxing and I'm not thinking about 10 different things. So just being more present, being more calm, soaking up these moments because they're going to go by fast. And then making an impact at work and being a part of something that I think is going to be huge.
That is very exciting. And I can relate with you on so many levels, as we've talked about boy moms and just all the things, and just trying to be a driver, trying to fill your cup and grow, but then also be present for the family. Has your family actually seen a shift in you since you've moved?
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. Chad definitely has seen a shift in me. I feel like I was stressed a lot, especially when I was going to school. It was like going to work at 6, coming home at 8. I love to cook too, and I wasn't able to do that for a long time. Bruning does provide a really good work-life balance schedule. They offer hybrid schedules, and I'm not micromanaged in any way, which I can't do. I can't work.
Well, you're
in
an
that
entrepreneur.
environment.
That just
It's never worked.
that'll
for
cause
me,
burnout
ever.
real quick.
Yes. So I one day a week I work from home. I'm able to make a nice dinner. I make dinner all the time now. I'm home at a decent time, and it feels so good
I love
to
that
be
for you.
there and be with the boys, go to practice, make dinner. I haven't had that life in so long. I know it sounds simple, but it's just what I want right now.
That's awesome. No, I totally can relate, because when you are an entrepreneur, you're on call 24/7. So that phone's constantly in your hand.
Yeah. And you're constantly worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
About getting the next client or losing a client or your staff or this person not showing up or this deadline. It's just, I mean, I would never take it away. But for some people, it's forever, and they just eat it up and love it. I see that in you right now, for sure. But for me, it just, everybody's different. I think for me and Bruning, I knew was the spot. I don't think I could have gave up on it without having the perfect situation. And this really is for me.
And you did it with grace, because I know you transitioned out slowly and found a trusted advisor that you could take and kind of shepherd and groom to take over your company. So what did that look like? Because that is going to be really hard, because that's like having a third son.
Yeah, it was, that was difficult. I have a partner, Terry Richards. He was a mentor to me. He's a CPA here in St. Louis. He worked at a big firm in Clayton for years. We partnered up a few years ago, and he kind of was more tax focused, tax consulting focused. I was more business management and day-to-day accounting focused. So it made sense for us. We were very successful, and I cared a lot about my clients. And so there's no way I could just be like, I'm closing the doors, bye, good luck.
Yeah.
There really isn't a lot of CPAs or accountants out there that understand law firms. They are very different. I remember talking to CPAs and them not understanding the importance of trust accounting and the rules that come along with that. That's so important. And along the years, I've educated myself on every detail. And so I knew they wouldn't be able to, not all of them, find somebody that really knew that. And Terry understands it. So, we talked about it, and he's so supportive. He's like, I can see you lighting up. Again, I knew Ryan really well and trusted him. He's always checked in with me. He was a client for years. One of my accountants that had been with me kind of since the beginning was also going with me. He was so just supportive and kind. And so I ended up selling out to him. A lot of my clients I know they're being taken care of. A lot of the accountants that were with me are still there. So it's growing. It's doing great. Proud of it, proud of something I built, and Terry's taking good care of it. So it was like best case.
Yeah. Well, and I know how much you care about your clients. So you were never going to put them in a situation where they wouldn't be with someone they could trust. It could just be a smooth transition, and it would be seamless.
Yeah. It's not always that easy. I got really lucky. I know my dad is trying to sell his company right now. It's a power washing and painting business. I'm trying to make him retire. I know you understand that.
I get it.
And so it's not easy. It's not easy because you care.
Yes.
You care about your clients and your customers. My dad's like that too. And so
because they help take care of you. So you want to make sure
Exactly.
you take care of them.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, I hope that for your dad. And if someone needs to reach out to you to learn more about your dad's company, I hope so they do so.
Yeah. It's in Illinois, and it's super successful. And he just wants to find somebody that wants to take care of his customers, like I said, that does a good job. And it's commercial painting and power washing. So he's got tons of equipment, and I just want him to relax and enjoy life and stop working. So
I get that. I don't know if it ever ends. My dad's been retired for quite a while now. Actually retired during COVID, but he still, tinkers around with everything and helping out everybody. So, but I think my mom likes it that way too.
Yeah, I bet. I know.
It's
so
funny.
Same.
That's cool. Well, that's exciting. And I'm happy to see the transition that you're constantly listening to your gut. You're constantly pivoting. You're doing it your way, your path. And that's it's inspiring.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You too. You're doing great things since you
Thanks.
left Enterprise.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for always supporting me. And I know we've talked about before, sometimes being a woman in business and being successful, it's difficult to find people that want to cheer for you. And you've always been such a cheerleader for me. And I'll get accolades, and I'm like, don't even know you're doing it. And you're so supportive to all of us here in the community, all of us women, and you're doing great things. And I'm so happy I met you, and you're so down to earth and easy to talk to. And you're just a champion for all of us. So thank you for everything you're doing. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you. You're going to make me cry. Okay. This isn't supposed to be about me. This is supposed to be about Kathy.
Well, you deserve
Thank you.
You deserve it.
She's an incredible woman. And when I see her, how she's leading with that servant mindset and just constantly giving back, and you are humble and kind too. Like I love that about you, because you could walk in here and be like, yep, I'm a CFA. Oh, You know, like
Yeah.
you don't have that air about you. You're very down to earth and you're young and you're a hustler and you've got it all. So just keep thriving. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And yeah, that is why I highlighted you as a, top 100 people to know in St. Louis.
I know. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Very cool.
Making me look good.
So you did highlight, I'll explore a little bit more because I don't know if people know that. Like as high performing women, it's a little harder. Like, the world isn't as nice. Have you had any of those experiences?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I do go through either, but there's multiple aspects to that. I think one is judgment and guilt. So if you're a mom as well, or you're a mom,
Yeah.
You don't want to have kids. Perfection is something there's a lot of pressure, and I don't want to be negative, but obviously with social media and things like that, I think it's gotten a little worse. But if you don't want to have kids, you're judged for that. If you do have kids and you work too much, you're judged for that. If I miss a game, I feel like guilt, or I feel like maybe I'm not being judged, but inside you think you are going to be judged. So I think just internally, there's a lot that goes on when you're a successful woman in business and a mom. Whether it's right or not, you have to learn how to stop doing that to yourself.
Yes.
And be kind to yourself and know that you are working hard. You're making a difference for your kids. You are supporting them. You're showing them what hard work looks like, which my parents did for me and I want to do for my kids. Work's so important. And also being kind. And so there's that, but then there's also, it's really hard to find, for me, it's been really difficult to find women that have been with me through it all.
Right.
And that I really feel like are cheerleaders for me. Katie, I told you about Katie, like my sister. I mean, just this morning, she texted me, "You're going to do great. Go get them." She knew, I've never been on the radio. I was a little nervous.
Shout out to these girls that are, cheerleading you on.
Yes. And I'm
Love it.
like, that's so awesome that, there's no jealousy. She really wants what's best for me. And like, I feel like sometimes I can't talk about being successful because it's braggy,
right?
Which again is probably internally me, but with her I can brag. I can be like, "Girl, guess what?"
Yes.
And I feel like that with you too.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle Stieg is another one that when you find that, hold on to it.
Yes,
because there's been a lot that I've had to let go of, which is unfortunate, but it's the world we live in. So.
All right. Well, girls that are cheering on girls, keep doing it. We need more of that in this world. Yes. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Today's conversations have been amazing. Please reach out to her if you're interested in learning more about the law firm, you want to build a relationship with Cassie, or if you want to learn more about her dad's company. You are listening to Elevate and Lead. Next week, we're actually going to be interviewing a couple, Denise and Andrew Huber, who are with Martha's Hands, which is in the caregiving space. So that might be a good introduction for you. But anyway, you're listening to Elevate and Lead live on demand at Lou Information Station. This is Jennifer Bordeaux, and we'll see you next week.